This meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Environment Open Space meeting. Today is May the 7th. My name is Rosa Diaz and I am the chair of this committee. This meeting is called to order at 6:31 p.m. Tonight, we're joined by Kenneth Nixon, the staff liaison to our committee. In order to conduct an efficient meeting, please let's observe a few ground rules. No one may speak on the floor. CB11 members, if you have a question about work business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. To raise your hand through Zoom, click the participants icon and you will find your raise hand under there. Members should not engage in a back and forth discussion. The chair will recognize the next person to speak. Please keep your questions and comments brief and on topic to the discussion. Members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. And now we're doing roll call. Thank you, Colleen.
Okay, 7 committee members, 4 needed for quorum. Rosa Diaz,
Present.
Chancellor Gregg,
Present.
Malik McCullough,
Present.
Samantha Pedrero, Debbie Quinones, Russell Schuler, Agatha White, it's online. Agatha, can you accept?
Present. I should be there in the next 10 minutes. Thank you.
How many meetings?
We have 4.
Oh, we have 4.
Yes.
Yeah, we see what else. You don't know. That's why we have 4.
We have 4, Chair.
Thank you so much.
That's fine.
The agenda for tonight's meeting was distributed ahead of time by the board office and was posted online. If there is no objection, we will adopt the agenda as stated. Committee members, if you object to adopting the agenda, you may raise your hand to be recognized. Seeing no objection, the agenda for tonight's meeting is adopted. And we can change the Samantha Pedrero who's here in person. No objections to the agenda? Okay, seeing no objections, the agenda for tonight's meeting is adopted. Adoption of the meeting minutes. The minutes from our last meeting was distributed to the committee members ahead of time at the board office. There's no objection. We will adopt the minutes from that meeting. Committee members, if you object to adopting the meeting, please let me know. Thank you so much, Chancellor, for doing the minutes, and the minutes of tonight's meeting will be taken by Malik. Okay, we are going to start the agenda. We have a basically the agenda. And are there any announcements? Maria?
Okay, hi, I'm Maria Kessler from Friends of East River Esplanade. Just to update you all, on April 23rd, very early in the morning, the Parks Department suddenly shut down the Esplanade between 93rd and 94th Street because there was a sinkhole which they assessed had expanded dangerously and they needed to assess it. This created an extremely dangerous situation because people were scaling the fence to get to the ferry. They were also going on the FDR Drive to get around this blockage. So it was very, very dangerous. Luckily, the Parks Department by the 28th reopened it with a small pathway on the grass to get around the expanded sinkhole. They're working with NYC EDC to repair this. This was already a sinkhole known and scheduled for repair as part of the phases of the Bobby Wagner Walk and Esplanade going up to 107th Street. So very, very dangerous. As soon as we heard, we started communicating out to Community Board 11, to City council member in Encarnacion and to the other state officials that are, that represent this area. So just as we have situations like this, good communication, I wanna say thank you, for responding. And if you have communication for us, please send back to us. Two other things I wanna mention, Adem at Earth Day mentioned the gap that we have in the Esplanade. There's a gap between 107th to 114th Street, and it's not been funded, so it needs to be funded. I think we all know that. And then finally, fun stuff. We have 2 bands coming up. One is next Saturday, Mulata Club, and that's gonna be at Andrew Haswell Green at 60th Street. It's a long way down there from here, but it's all free. And we're gonna have free ices. And then on Saturday, May 30th, we're gonna have an R&B band called Noise. And everybody seems to really love them. I've never heard them, but they should be free. So please join us. It's all free. That's it.
Thank you, Maria. Anybody else, any member have any announcement? Okay, we're moving on with,
Oh, sorry, a quick question.
Hi,
Um,
hello.
You said 93rd to 94th.
93rd to 94th.
That was it.
Oh,
Councilor.
Hello.
Please raise your hand, to Zoom. Go ahead, Councilor.
Yes, so at the last school board meeting, I mentioned about white playground conversation that was supposed to happen last Friday, but due to the weather, that was rescheduled to tomorrow at White Playground, that's 170 East 106. Tomorrow at 5:30 to 7:30. Please come out. There's gonna be some food, I heard, and some giveaways, and so,
Thank you, I totally forgot about it. Brenda,
Hi, hello. I'm Brenda. I'm with the Lexington Third Block Association. I am grateful to announce that we are the recipients of the 2026 Love Your Block grant. And we will be giving flowers to the blocks. And we will, over the next 6 months, be prepping street tree beds within our purview. The Lexington Third Block Association covers 96th Street to 104 between Lex and Third Avenue. So we're going to be prepping trees to plant seeds so that they will blossom in the spring of 2027. All the details are on our website, l3banyc.org, and we invite the community board and members of the community to join us. This is not only a beautification project, but a community bonding project. And we submitted to plant seeds instead of planting full-grown flowers because we want the neighborhood to grow together and for the flowers to grow as a neighborhood community, engagement. So I know you have limited time, so I just wanted to announce that. And you could put me down not as a panelist anymore unless anyone has any questions. But again, all the information is on our website, l3banyc.org. I also sent an email to Khalid with the information. And anyone, again, I'm Brenda. I'm the project director and the co-founder. We're all 100% volunteer led. And again, we invite all of you and anyone who's listening to join us. Anyone from anywhere, even if you don't live in the neighborhood, but we do in particular want to engage people who live on the blocks. And we are also, in addition to planting the seeds for the flowers, we're going to be putting signage with positive affirmations. And we want the community to be involved in the positive affirmations, to vote on them and to submit sayings to put on the signs. So I yield. Thank you very much. Unless anyone
Thank
has
you.
questions.
thank you so much, Brenda. Any questions for Brenda? I would say the only thing, it would be like my recommendation to the affirmation to be in multiple languages if possible.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The affirmations that you're going to put out to be in multiple languages.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yes, thank you for that idea. And that's something, when we're ready for that stage, we're going to put online for people to submit their ideas, to put sayings. So that would be something, but that is a fabulous idea. I love it.
Thank you, Brenda.
And I want to ask you a question. I don't know what I'm supposed to say, but I want to say what I want to say, okay? Now, I've been working with Cherry Tree Park. It's getting better. Guess what? They prime me in the park, but my crew been coming in Kids Life Matter. We done painted benches. We done did a lot, I have the kids in there painting rocks. The seniors coming painting the bag. I got a lot of pictures and everything. I was trying to come back out there, but guess what? The guy that they gave me, he had a lot of things going on now.
Alex?
Yeah, he's doing it.
Lexi, are you talking about Lexi?
So now, where do I go? Where do I stand now? I need somebody to do.
I don't know. I mean, we also have done events in Cherry Tree Park. We haven't done any events there recently, but we did some painting in there. We've done several cleanups in there. I don't know, they might, they did cuts in the funding. So that might be what's limiting. So that sometimes they have limited supplies that they could give. But if you want to contact me separately on the side, I would love to exchange information with you, or like ways to help you. I mean, we're just a volunteer group as well. We're an unregistered community group. We're not a nonprofit. We're just neighbors to do stuff. But if there's any way we could help you, we'd be happy to. You could reach me through reaching me on my website, or I don't want to give my phone number out on this because I know this goes on YouTube, but you could reach me through the website and Brenda, or I did email Khalid and he has my information. So if you email him, he has my permission to pass my information. Are you there in this meeting, Khalid?
Yes, do you hear us?
Hi, how are you? Yeah, my
you hear us?
information, my phone number, my email, and everything is in the stuff that I send you, and you could feel free to pass it along to the lady who just was asking.
Thank you so much, Brenda. I appreciate that, and I will do the connection because you did provide your email last time. Matt, you have your hand up. And Matt, okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to add Lexi is still around. He's still the Partnerships for Parks coordinator for that area. Over towards May and the very beginning of the June, we do what's called It's My Park project for many groups across the entire borough. So our capacity is somewhat limited to do like additional projects in May and June. But reach out to him, re-email. If you corresponded with him, just send him a little nudge. We'd be happy to support you, but he's still one of your main Partnership for Parks contacts.
Yeah, Lexi is great. And if he hasn't responded, it's probably just because he's busy. He's really great. I love Lexi.
I'm sorry. Brenda? Thank you for that. We'll take care of that. Thank you.
I was asking that because
No, I know, my love. I got you.
So I talked to you because.
But we'll connect because I know Lexi like.
Right, and he said he wasn't gonna be here, but he's working with me, but I wanna go back in the park, so where do I go now?
No, we'll make it happen. We can do that every month.
Every month?
We
Thank
can
you.
do that every month.
That's what I want,
Yeah.
you know that, okay,
We'll
thank
do
you.
that every month.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do that every month. Okay, so now we are moving on. Department of Parks and Recreation. Next.
City state informational updates, so they don't confuse. Yeah,
Oh, I've got, okay.
I'll have my Tapashi and Jonathan go, and then I'll fill in. Tapashi?
Yes, give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. I forgot to read the screen so everyone that is on Zoom knows exactly what is going on. We already did roll call, we already adopted the May agenda. We have already done the approval of the April minutes. We did the announcements and informational updates. We're having, a presentation and discussion, to request a letter of support, Center for Conservancy, on Bassett and, Boathouse. Then we're having a proposed design for the Thomas Jefferson Park dog run. And then we're having all business requests for a letter of support, Central Park Conservancy. We have already heard that and we are voting on it tonight. Then we're discussing community board, community gardens tour that we have already planned so for March, May 30th. New business, we will be discussing and debriefing our Earth Day conference and a bill that has been co-sponsored by our city council, LC Encarnacion. And then we'll have roll call and adjournment. Okay, with that being said, we are moving with you, Takashi.
Okie dokie. Hello, everyone. Let's see. A few things. If you went to the Jackie Robinson Day Festival, sorry, we're looking for feedback. Oh my god. So please share. I have a link, and I will share that in the chat for you to share your feedback with us. We have a lot of art in historic Harlem parks. In each park, actually. So a few weeks ago, we debuted artwork by Singha Han on 150th Street and Fifth Avenue. It's titled Root to Bloom, and it is with the Mayor's Office of Equity. There's 5 divisions within the Mayor's Office of Equity, and she was an artist in resident. And there's 5 panels, and each one of them describes one of those units within the Mayor's Office of Equity. So very beautiful. You can see their influence on the bottom and how it sprouts up into society and influences us. We have a lot of activities coming up in Marcus Garvey Park. Inside the rec center on Thursday, today. It's too late for that because it's same time as this meeting. But today they have Arts, Culture, and Fun, has Stephen Bloom Molecule Jazz Trio concerts from 6 to 7:30 today. And then we also have on May 14th, Arts, Culture, and Fun again has a quartet concert from 6 to 7:30 in front of Pelham Fritz. And then on May 14th, we are having the Tree Count relaunch at 10 a.m. on the southwest lawn near the ball fields. In particular, we have a great tree in Harlem, and that is the Osage. I always mess up the name, but the Osage orange tree. And that's where we'll have the tree count relaunch. Every 10 years, the Parks Department leads an inventory of all of our park trees and street trees, and this is part of that. They started in 2025, and then they're relaunching for the next season, spring 2026. So we're hoping to complete a lot of sites, and Marcus Garvey is almost completely inventoried. So this will be a completion event, and it's at 10 a.m. And then on Saturday, May 16th, we have the historic Mount Morris Fire Watchtower tour with the Urban Park Rangers. This will be from 3:30 to 5 p.m. at the Marcus Garvey Acropolis. Yeah. And we're still hiring, so please visit our NYC Parks website for job opportunities. And also, we're still hiring interns. So if you know any college-age students who are looking for a 3-month activity, feel free to share that with them. Thank you, and that is it for me.
Question by Chancellor?
Yeah, the Fire Watch tour on the 16th, is that gonna be done in increments? like every 30 minutes or so, or is it just one big event?
So for this event, it's the day of. It's an hour and a half, and there's rangers stationed at the bottom, or rangers will usually go up. So you can go into the Firewatch Tower. You can go up and hear some history about it, look at the beautiful views of Manhattan, and then you can also come back down and ring the bell at the bottom.
Anybody else has a question?
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you, Tabashi, and we had so much fun at the Dr. Robinson event. I appreciate you always inviting us to join. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for tabling. I'll share the link to the feedback form in the chat.
Yes, I actually connected with the chair of environmental committee for committee for 9 and 10, and we are working on things together. Thanks to that event. Look at that. Thank you for that. Now we have Ma, do you have anything to add? Jonathan, Luke?
Hey, good evening. I can go next. Jonathan Kovacs, District Park Manager. So a few announcements. Detective Omar Edwards Park. The construction just completed this week and it's now officially open to the public, which is very exciting. The substantial completion with Parks Capital and the construction crew just completed. It's a beautiful park, so if you get a chance, I definitely recommend swinging by. And there's a ribbon cutting slated for May 28th. This is later in June 27th, pools open. So operationally, the district's been very busy getting pools ready. Maintenance crews are out painting the pools and cleaning the pool decks. Thomas Jefferson Pool will actually be the site for Manhattan's opening ceremony. And that will be also to celebrate 90 years of public swimming in New York City. Thomas Jefferson Pool, it opened in 1936 and was one of 11 pools that opened that year as part of the WPA projects. So that's also exciting. The Movies Under the Stars series has begun. There's one at Moore Playground this Saturday, May 9th at 8 p.m. You can check out Mufasa, the Lion King. And then a couple It's My Park projects coming up. Volunteer projects at White Playground, Saturday, May 30th, 10 a.m. Could volunteer with the 106th Street Old Timers, Inc. to plant some pollinator plants and beautify the surrounding gardens at White Playground. And then at Alice Carnegie Triangle, Sunday, May 31st, 11 a.m. is volunteer with Art in the Park to plant some pollinator plants as well and to create a new welcome garden by the entrance of Alice Carnegie Triangle, as well as some litter removal. So we look forward to cleaning up the park with you there. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
So I'll chime in a few other things we have going on since we probably have a bunch of folks on from Thomas Jefferson Park. Tomorrow at the rec center, they will be doing a Mother's Day painting from 5 to 7 at the rec center. So come bring some kids along and you can paint, some kids can paint a Mother's Day gift. On May 16th, we're going to start up our 5K run series again at Thomas Jefferson. So they start at Thomas Jeff, run over to East River Park and back. And then a few other events that we have going on. On May 27th, there's going to be a silent disco at May Grant Playground, which is funded by Councilmember Ayala. That will be from 5 to 7. So those are all the events I have to report. Does anyone have any questions?
Oh, we have a question by one of our members, Agatha.
Hi, this is for Jonathan. Since you mentioned the movie Under the Stars series that are starting soon, I was curious to know for White's Playground, there are no lights in there at night in the street. I'm not sure if that falls under parks or DOT. And this has been a concern for years now. That street is like pitch black and unsafe. So if you guys are planning events like that, I don't think it's intriguing. It's not. That should be resolved before. Do you know if there are for that anytime soon?
Thank you for that. No, we'll follow up and see the status of the lights in the parks and along the streets are managed by DOT. So I'll follow up and see what the status is of any work orders.
Thank you.
Thank you. That actually reminds me. Thank you, Agatha. That actually reminds me of Harlem River Park, Park, I believe, in 131 and Lexington. There's like absolutely no lights in there, and I've been meaning to reach out, but there we go.
Which part? You took
It's 131 and Lexington. It's the Harlem River Park.
each one teach one part?
No, 131 in Lexington.
Each one teach one part?
No, it's not. It's the park. It's not the playground. It's not.
So what playground?
It's called Harlem River Park.
Is it on
And
the?
it's 131. I'll connect with you
Oh,
guys and tell you directly.
No, that's not Lexington. He's right. That's Madison. Not Madison.
No. It's Lexington.
Lexington is the East One Drive.
Let me see.
There is like a seating area type triangle park right there outside of each one teach one.
You see this little one.
Yeah, that's what she's talking about.
Harlem River.
The triangle.
Triangle.
What's the name?
Harlem River Park.
All of the whole thing itself, that little piece is something different, but I understand. He knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just a little
Yeah.
portion.
It's a little portion that is really pitch black, and that just reminded me, and I was like, I'm always trying to bring it up, and I forgot. But thank you for that. Just reminded me that. But I'll follow up with pictures from tonight. Thank you. Anybody else from parks?
Last but not least, we got Randall's Island over here, right? My name's Luke Alicea. I'm the Deputy Administrator for Randall's Island Park. Wanted to start off by saying thank you to CB11. We've been doing a ton of work on our trees on the island, and CB11 was critical in getting some of the grant-funded work funded. So just thank you for that. I think it's going a long way. We have a lot of, beyond our own staff working, contracted specialists who are helping throughout the whole park. On top of that, though, we're looking for citizen pruners. And last weekend, we completed our first training with 20 East Harlem residents, including one, Rosa Diaz. So thank you for that. And, this is not a one and done thing. This is something we intend to bring back every kind of year after year. So anybody who didn't have an opportunity to do that, it's something that we look forward to having you for the next round of it. And then the rapid fire fun events that are coming up. So we have yoga going on every Tuesdays from 6:30 to 7:30 at the East River Picnic area. We have the Jesse Owens Track and Field program Saturdays from 10 to 12. That's out of Thomas Jefferson Park, but it's managed through the Randall's Island Park Alliance. We have volunteering going on with Team River and the Urban Farm every week. Wednesdays for Team River from 9:30 to 12:30, and then the Urban Farm is Saturdays 10 to 1. And then just some one-off events that are not volunteers, that are just purely for fun. We have the Bird Bonanza from Saturday from 10 to 1 p.m. on May 9th, this Saturday. We also have Big Truck Day, where the kids can kind of hang on big trucks, fire trucks, etc. Right behind Icon Stadium on May 16th from 12 to 3. And then the big one for May is we have World Fish Migration Day, which is going to be Saturday, May 30th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Water's Edge Garden. And that's all we have for events. Kind of operationally, the only other big news is we have a big seasonal onboarding of staff coming on June. So that should lead to us being able to handle the larger crowds that come with the nice weather. Ben, any questions? That's all I have for my report tonight.
Thank you, thank you. Any parks advocacy groups? I believe Maria, you already.
Yeah, I
did. Much. Not confused which one. Department of Sanitation? None in attendance. Department of Environmental Protection? None in attendance. Okay. So we're moving with the presentations and discussion. Central Park Conservancy, Conservatory, Water Bath and Boathouse. And I saw before you guys start, I saw that it was 48 pages. Can we please try to like one?
We talk fast. We talk very fast.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. We will go very fast. I'm actually going to set my timer on my phone so we can make sure to keep on task and make use of everyone's time. Thank you for having us this evening. Nice to see everyone. I'm just going to kick us off. So we're here to present a project at Conservatory Water. And Diane, you can go right to the next slide just to show everyone where this is in the park. It's right north of 72nd Street on the east side. And it's really comprises 3 projects, the boat basin where the model sailboats are, the boathouse, and then also the surrounding landscape. So it is a big area. You can go to the next slide. Today, we're going to be talking with you all about the boathouse, the basin, and then the area of landscape that you see in the red dotted line. And then the next slide, we're going to be coming back to you either later this year or early next with the remaining landscape work in this area. So I'm going to turn it over to Diane. Oh, I got some goals here. Sorry about that. So 3 goals for the project: rehabilitation, restoring the building exterior and the basin, consistent with the landmark park. Accessibility, always a goal and a component of all of our projects. The site is not accessible, so we'll be creating accessibility down to the site and to the program. Also, accessibility for the concession that's there and the employees who work out of that concession. And then environmental stewardship through the restoration of the building and the upgrades that we're going to be doing there. And then also all of the extensive landscape and site improvements that we're going to be doing. So now I'm going to turn it over to Diane, who's going to just quickly go through a little bit of history of the site.
Thanks so much, Sandy. It's nice to see everyone. I'm Diane Jackier. I am hopefully going to be able to get the slides to move forward. I'm going to just give you a brief history of the site. And again, hopefully things will start moving. Sorry, my laptop is rather slow sometimes. Let's see if I do this, if this will help. All right, so I'll just scroll through. So Conservatory Water is a reflecting pool that was actually built for a proposed glass conservatory that was never built. This is a map from 1873 that shows what was built in the park. Here's the outline of the boat basin as we know it, and this proposed conservatory. So this next slide just shows what this glass conservatory was designed to look like. It was never built, but this is a design from 1862. From its basic beginning, the basin was a very popular venue for model boating. This is a photo from 1917, but the sport really gained popularity in London and Paris in the early 1800s and came to New York in the mid 1800s. both at Prospect Park and here in Central Park. So I'm always just amazed to see how big these model boats were at the time. And because those boats were so big, there was actually a wooden boathouse that was built at the same location as the current Curbs boathouse that we're going to be talking more about for the rest of the presentation. But it was built to store boats and to make it easier for the model boaters to sail their boats whenever they came to the spot. That boathouse, we don't know exactly the origins. It burned down in the 1940s, and there was a proposal started by Robert Moses, who's pictured here on the dais, to create a master plan for this area of the park to focus really on water activities and children's activities. So there was this boathouse built, a small kiosk, and then Alice in Wonderland and the Hans Christian Andersen sculptures. This is a photo from the dedication of the Curbs boathouse in 1954. Jean Curbs was the woman who funded the project. Her parents lived on Fifth Avenue, loved watching the model boaters. And so from its inception, when this boathouse was built, the program is pretty much as it remains today, with the model boat location for storage and rental in the middle. The restrooms are on the south side of the building and a concession on the right. So this is really what it looks like today. I'm going to hand it over to Nick to go through more of the details of what we're proposing.
Great. Thanks, Diane. Hey, everybody. So do you want to go to the plan? So just for orientation, we're rotating the view. So Fifth Avenue's at the bottom of the page, Midtown's off to the left, and Harlem's up on the right. And so this is the plan orientation that we'll be focusing on for today. And so this area is largely what we consider parkland. It's, a lot of trees, lawns that people use for lounging, for, playing with their dogs, etc. Next. We're going to talk about the three different areas, so starting with the basin. So this is what the basin looks like when it's drained. So it's in pretty bad shape. The bottom's really, really cracked. It's very hard to maintain. This is in the winter when conservancy staff is in, cleaning it out, and it's very hard to maintain the water. Next. So there are three different materials that make up the walls. So there are some block walls, which are original, some concrete walls that are from, I think, 1929. And then we have some newer concrete walls that was part of a replacement project from the Conservancy. Next. So part of this project, we're going to be restoring the walls. So here you see the different types. The blue are the old block. The pink are the ones that the Conservancy has restored. And then the yellow is all the older concrete that's almost 100 years old. So what it looks like around the basin, there's a granite coping, there's an area for people to walk and promenade, a lot of trees, benches, light poles. Next. Some other views, I think this one's really important to highlight. You see the water level, it's pretty low. And so it's, we're not able to keep it to its full height right now, so that the boats actually have a hard time sailing and catching the wind because the waters are always leaking out. Next. So in addition to restoring the basin, we're going to be making some improvements to the area around it. So that's the area that we have highlighted with the black line. So we'll be doing work for paving, benches, light poles in that area. Next. So this is the plan that looks very similar, very minor modifications. We'll be cleaning up the layout of the benches, adding accessible seating, making sure that there's adequate light in this area for nighttime use. Next. Now we're going to talk about landscape and accessible improvements. So this is generally what the area looks like. You have the perimeter wall on the left and the path working its way down. Next. So as you saw on the slide that Sandy shared, this is the area outlined in the dashed line that will be having offline for a bit, that will get restored and accessible paths added for this project. And these arrows are the photos that we'll be showing on the next couple slides. So starting on the right side, this is the approach as you're coming in to go to the playground or work your way down towards the boat basin. These are semi-steep paths, so there will be some regrading that will happen here to make them fully accessible. Next. Coming in from the other side, this side's pretty steep. So there's a steep path that's at like a 10 to 12% slope, and then in the other direction, there are stairs that will that lead you down to the basin. Next. So back to the plan view, this is highlighting where the accessible paths are going to be added. So everything in blue meets the sort of the ADA accessibility code. The purple are areas that you'll see ramps. So we're going to be able to get people in and accessible down to the entire water basin, as well as to the boathouse and the restrooms and the concessions. And as Sandy mentioned, when we come back, there are going to be other accessible paths that we'll be presenting to come from the west side of the park. Next. This is a view of what those paths look like. So, you know, we've presented these before. They're really in line with all of the other restoration work that we've done, and, you know, really integrate well into the park. Next. There are also 4 water drinking fountains within the area. We'll be upgrading those to accessible fountains and adding one more close to the park entrance at 72nd Street. Next. Now moving on to the building and the terrace. This is what that space looks like. So you can see it's you know, sort of beautifully sited with plantings around it. Next. As you saw from Diane's history, or I'll start with the plan. So with the plan, just to orient you here, zooming in a little bit. So we have the building, we have the terrace, there's a sandbox on the terrace, there are some benches, there's lighting, and there's planting. Next. So the building hasn't really received any big improvements since it was built. So the original photo that you had seen, you know, minor updates have happened over time. So the little arrows that we're showing in these these photographs are pointing out conditions that we'll be addressing as part of the restoration. Next. So there are, you know, things of a building of this age that you'd see bricks that are out of place, bricks that are cracked due to some additions that have happened over time, stone that's cracked. These will all be fixed as part of the restoration of the historic building. So this is what it looks like inside. This is the model boat space. So this is where the model boat club as well as a boat concession operate out of. And so they'll be coming back to this space once it's restored. Next. This is a view of the boiler room. We just wanted to include this because we'll be taking out the oil-fired boiler and upgrading to an all-electric system. So this space frees up in the building. These are the restrooms. They're on the smaller side. As you know from the plan that we looked at earlier, they're not accessible, so we'll be creating an accessible path for them and creating upgrades to them. This is the area on the back of the building that's used by the concession. So the concession area is really small and has had to spill out into the landscape in sort of this ad hoc way throughout the years. So part of this project will really be to clean this up and get it inside the building. And then the terrace. So you see the sandbox here, the sort of the concession area, the walls that are not in great shape, the bluestone, which is falling and cracking. All of this will be part of the project to upgrade this space. So now regarding the plan. So you can see here the model boat room that we started in, the concession space, which is, as Sandy mentioned, it's not currently accessible. There are steps to get in and out of it, and they have to go outside to access the trailer where the cold storage is in the back. The women's room and the men's room are separated on sides of the building. And then we have the boiler room and storage space, which we really saw as an opportunity to, as we go in and restore this building, to rethink the interior program and expand it. So go to the next slide. So we're proposing 2 modest additions to the back. On the concession side, removing the bathroom and expanding out the space and adding about a little over 400 square feet to the back, giving them enough space to pull everything inside. And in the back of that space, there'll be a utility space. Where we see the real community benefit here is on the restroom side. So the women's room and men's room and family room, we're able to really double the fixture count of the restrooms within this space. So adding toilets, adding sinks, and adding a family or all gender restroom to this space. I know that's something that we've presented to you before on other restrooms. So we're glad that we're able to include that here. Next. I see a clap from Rosa, thank you. And then in plan, we will be having a green roof on the building, which we're pretty excited about. So the flat portions of the roof will have an extensive green roof. So really, you know, one, it's good environmentally, but also because this is lower down from Fifth Avenue, it'll be something nice to look at. We'll be upgrading the sandbox with an accessible sandbox, so all children will be able to play. You know, I think the consolidation of the restrooms all to one side closer to the ramp is a really great improvement. And we'll be adding handrails and some additional benches to the terrace. Next. So this is a zoomed out plan of the entire park and just sort of speaking of the importance of this project and why we're presenting it to you today. So there are 20 restrooms within Central Park. All of the blue dots are ones that have been made accessible. All of the red dots are ones that still have not. And so the conservatory water is really at a key place mid-park that will create an accessible restroom, providing that to you know, the park users of this area. Next. And then we want to conclude with what this will look like. This is a view sort of similar to the view that we showed you first of the existing. So the building's fully restored. The two doors on this side will be turned into windows with a frosted glass so you can't see into the restroom, but light will still go in. There'll be a well-lit overhang and awning here that says restroom, sort of keying the public into the space that this is for them. You know, you can see the benches will be refreshing all of the planting around the building. And, you know, generally we think this will be a really great addition to this part of the park. So it looks like we're about 16 minutes. We are done. So we look forward to hearing your questions. I guess one thing we didn't mention was our schedule, just to give you that. We'll be coming to you or closing down the basin first. So that'll be something that'll be happening this fall. And then the goal is to start construction for the building in 2027. And we imagine that both will be closed for the 2027 boating season and then reopening in summer of 2028.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Usually we have a 30-day wait, but this does not directly hit our 96 to 142nd Street. I could, if anyone wants to do a motion, I will do that. We could just provide you a letter of support like now.
We would love a letter of support.
Of course, Chancellor.
I'll start the motion. I just want to make sure anybody else had any questions.
Does any, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Look at me. Oh my God. I am so like on time. I apologize. So apologize. Does anyone have any questions, comments, suggestions? Members first.
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah.
I just had a question. Is there anything else that's gonna be on the water besides the model boats? Like, I don't wanna say a raft, but like any of the I forget the smaller boating
The rowboat?
The rowboats or anything else besides the model boats, or that's just it?
Right now, the plan is just the program will just remain as the model boats. It's always been the model boat pond, and then there's the great concessionaire Rocking the Boat that operates out of there. And so we obviously are working very closely with the Parks Department, you know, for the concessions that are there for their, you know, because they will have to close while we're doing this work. But they'll be coming back when we're done.
Okay, and then lastly, the family restroom, is that outside of the men's room or is it inside the men's room?
It's outside. Yeah, there are two separate doors.
Oh, okay. All right. I
Yep,
was just
yeah. Yep. So, you know, we just didn't color in the walls on the inside, so it's, I guess, a little hard to see. So there's this is the place where it says water bottle filler. This is an open air court, basically. So if where it says evening security gate, that would close at night. You would just enter through there. You could enter the women's, the family, or the men's. They'd all have signage on them, similar to the signage that we came to you last month with.
Awesome. Any
Thank
other
you.
members?
Yeah, just quick question about the green room. What are the plans to access that green room for maintenance or just overall keeping up?
Yeah, so could you go back to the plan, Diane? One more plan, just to show through. So the utility space, so the Conservancy will be maintaining the green roof on the building. And so the Conservancy staff will have access through the utility room back into this this court area where there'll be some of the mechanical equipment. So this will be off limits to the public with this fence. And so there'll be people would take a ladder to get up onto the roof, and then they'd have tie-ins for safety, so it would comply with all safety requirements, and any of the staff who did that maintenance would be trained in it.
Go through a ladder. Only through a ladder, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maria?
So when this was originally constructed, there was private donations that funded it. Are there any private funds going into this, or is this all public, all Conservancy funding?
There is a private gift for this, yes. And and there will be in the landscape and some of the basin some city money as well. So it's a mix, as most of our projects are.
Awesome. Matthew?
Hi, everybody. This is my first time coming to one of these, but thanks for taking my question. It looks great. I'm really excited about it. I am a recent father of a 2.5-year-old, and one of the things in this plan I saw was the sandbox. And I know from talking to parents and myself, watching my son run around in sandboxes, is there's a lot of concerns about the hygiene of the sandboxes and how we keep them clean. And I was curious what the thoughts were around that, and if, rather than revitalizing, removing the sandbox might be a better idea and replacing it with something that is more, something more friendly to the hygiene, to ensure that we aren't getting, rodents, pests, foreign objects in there, stuff that can keep our children a little bit more safe in that area.
So I can take that. So the sandbox, that'll be maintained by the same folks that maintain our playgrounds. Most of our playgrounds have sand and sandbox in them. So, they come in on at least a daily basis, if not more than once a day, to clean and to top off the sandboxes. So that will continue, excuse me, as part of the maintenance that's here. And then for the sandbox itself, it was original to the plans for this space, for this building. And so because we're a landmark park under the jurisdiction of the Landmarks Commission, we have to, kind of really maintain that character that's there with the sandbox. But we hear your point, and we'll be talking to Landmarks and kind of continuing that discussion around the sandbox.
I really appreciate that. And I know, in all of the playgrounds, it's a common discussion among parents whenever we're there that we're like, we really wish there weren't sandboxes in all the playgrounds. One, for just the kids' cleanliness, we don't want them in there, and two, it's just hard to imagine that the rodents aren't using it as a bathroom, or the feral cats, and that there aren't parasites or diseases that could be in there. And oftentimes I see my child picking up a random piece of plastic out of there and going to put it in his mouth, and it's definitely something that scares me and that worries me when I have him in the playground. So I appreciate you listening. Thank you so much, Sandy.
I definitely hear your point, Matthew, and I kind of agree, and you know what I mean. I respectfully also disagree. As respectfully, right? Because as a mom of an autistic child, like the sandbags actually helped my daughter with her tantrums. She went there and just like used the sand to like release some of her emotions. But at the same time, it's also dangerous, for the eyes, but then she's throwing it in the air. So I hear you, and I think keeping it like safe, because you don't know if anyone is throwing something inside or hiding something inside or whatever the situation may be. But keeping it clean. Yes, Russell has a question.
I would ask you to investigate the Parks Department. I'm led to believe that those sand lots were outlawed in most of the parks around the city, at least my committee it was, and in Harlem what they were. So it's news to me that one still exists. But the Central Park Conservancy is a case of its own. So I would think you, as a parent, should explore that and find out on your own investigation what's been the practice of that citywide.
We have sandboxes in white playground.
I said they were outlawed. They took it out my playground.
I
said
like,
it was outlawed. That outlawed years ago. So it's come back into play. It's something to be investigated.
right. Matthew had your hand up.
I was just going to mention that we have sandboxes in White Playground. That's something we can look into and get back to the committee, but I'm not aware of that law.
Yeah, we also have one in I forgot the name of the park, but the one in Central Park. We have one there too. And on and on, right? Thank you so much for the presentation. Does anyone else have any questions?
No, I'm just gonna say hard to hear. Talking about, right?
Yes, look at that, not more. So anyone, do you want to continue?
I like to motion for a letter of support for the Central Park Conservative Water Base and Boathouse project.
Oh, second. Thank you. All in favor? Or do we need a roll call for the?
Would you like to call it? You should like to call it by vote or by?
We can do roll call then. We can just do roll call.
So give me 1 second. Yes, repeat your motion, Mr. Gregory.
You want me to repeat it or Rose repeat it? I like to motion for a letter of support for the Central Park Conservatory Water Basin and Boathouse.
Second that.
What? No.
Samantha.
We have 6 present that is not in. Okay, so for the motion to pass, we need 4 in affirmation. Rosa Diaz?
Yes.
Chancellor Gregg?
Yes.
Malik McCullough?
Yes.
Samantha Pedro?
Yes.
Is absent. Russell Schuler?
Yeah.
Agatha White?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, awesome. You got the letter. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Bye.
And up next, we have proposed design for the Thomas Jefferson Park of
Hey, good evening, everyone. How's it going? Max Goodsey from New York City Parks, and the Deputy Chief of Staff for Parks Manhattan. I see a lot of familiar faces. Good to see you, everyone, tonight. Tonight we have a really good group of people with us from our Capital team, Patricia Clark and Jeffrey as well. Jeff and Patricia, are you guys able to speak or log on or present your presentation? Guess we're getting a little echo. Jeff, I would try muting one of the. Excellent. Jeff, are you logged in multiple places? If you could just keep your mic on the first primary computer, it would stop the echo. Patricia, are you able to share the presentation? Jeff, are you able to share the presentation, or Patricia?
Yeah. Just give me one moment. Just give me one moment.
What was that first?
Sorry, guys, about this. Zoom and our computers do not work well together. Apologies.
No problem.
Just, before we get set up, we're really happy to come to you guys tonight. Last year, we came to the community and did a community input presentation to basically solicit feedback for this dog run in Thomas Jefferson Park, which was very successful. We had a lot of spirited discussion. And, since then, Jeffrey's been hard at work at designing a plan. And tonight, we're coming to you with that plan. We involve the community at every step in our design process. And really, we'll come to you guys before we show the rest of the city agencies, such as the Public Design Commission and other regulatory agencies, just to get your feedback and making sure we're on the right track here. So please, any feedback, any comments you guys have about the plan Jeffrey's going to show you, please let us know. You guys are vital to this process. Jeffrey, are you able to pull it up, the presentation?
Yep. How's that audio now?
It's fantastic.
Okay.
Good job.
All right. Okay. How's that look for everyone? Good.
We all
See it yet.
We cannot see your screen.
All right. One moment.
Yep.
How does that look? Hairy?
Also, I'm sorry if you guys see that I'm sitting at a staircase right now. I'm actually not supposed to be working tonight. I'm at my other job, but I like you guys so much that I decided to hop on for this. So apologies for that. Excellent, Jeff.
Oh, you can see it? Okay, great.
Yes, definitely. And Andrew, are you in attendance tonight? Are you in the room?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Max.
All right, excellent. I just want to shout out Andrew really quick before we even begin. This dog run, quite frankly, would not be possible without him. His dedication here is nothing short of exemplary, and he should be recognized for that. He runs this run absolutely phenomenally. It's clean, it's well maintained. A lot of you guys know that at parks, we don't actually go with our maintenance workers and maintain the run on a day-to-day basis. New York City Parks is responsible for the capital projects of that dog run and the overall capital projects or overall capital planning for the run, but the actual day-to-day maintenance is handled by our volunteer groups, such as him, and he's incredible. So thank you for everything you do in the run, and I'm glad you're here tonight. All right, so
Jeff, maybe we should share and then you could do the presentation just so you could have, because you're showing the whole script, I think maybe.
Oh, I'm okay.
You want me to, Patricia, or I could share?
Yeah,
Rachel, you can share.
All right. Let's see.
Perfect.
Stop sharing.
Yep.
I have it, Rachel. Is it up?
Perfect. Yep, that's good, guys.
You can see something?
Perfect.
Trish,
Yep.
is this you? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Thanks.
All right. Excellent. So I'll make this really quick because I know you guys have a lot going on. This was mostly funded by a former council member, the former deputy speaker as well, Dani Ayala. She gave us $1.336 million here, which is incredible. And the rest was funded by Mayor Adams. Again, you guys have Jeffrey designing this view. He's one of the best designers of Capitol. So Jeffrey, I'll just let you take it over.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Jeffrey Schneider, and along with Patricia Clark, we'll be designing Thomas Jefferson Park Dog Run, known to many of you as Tom's Dog Run. Our funding is currently $1,693,000. The community input meeting for this reconstruction was well attended and in person on June 12th, 2025, and follow-up with Andrew Lowry has led us to seek additional and separate space to the north of the current dog run. We also received the following feedback from you regarding the reconstruction. You'd like a low maintenance, easy to clean surface, as well as access to water for drinking and site maintenance, new seating, and you also requested additional lighting for increased security. The dog run is in East Harlem, a bit north of 111th Street at the FDR Drive. The run is in a 100-year floodplain. This is a map of what's within the distance of Tom's Dog Run, and within a 10-minute walking distance, there are numerous parks, open spaces, amenities, but no other dog runs. So it's pretty important. This slide of existing conditions will give you an idea of the constraints we've been dealing with while designing the new dog run. The current surface is mulch, and all dogs share one run. The dog run is bounded to the west by an alley of trees, and beyond that, a pathway, under which sits a large sewer interceptor with a 15-foot offset, indicated by these yellow lines. So we couldn't expand that way. To the south is the 111th Street entrance to the park. Maintenance vehicles use this to enter the park, exit the park, to maintain the park, so we couldn't expand there. To the east is the limit of the park with a 6-foot steel picket fence. Beyond that is the sidewalk and the FDR Drive. Obviously, we couldn't expand there. So to the north, there's a circular node, and beyond that, we have a grove of trees. So we ended up expanding the footprint to the north. And many of you suggested this during the community input meeting. So at the beginning of our design process, our arborists conduct a tree survey. What they found at Tom's Dog Run are a lot of exposed tree roots. Most of these belong to that healthy LA of trees you see on the west. Our arborists consider these trees very healthy and worth preserving. The many exposed roots have influenced our design and the extents of the new dog run. Specifically, this exposed root at tree number 7, highlighted with yellow. It's a large root in the middle of the south end of the dog run. So we will need to end the all dog run at that point. And to make up for this truncation, we're going to add a smaller dog run to the north among that grove of trees. And our arborists have agreed that we can remove a few understory trees, and we've indicated these by the orange X's. These are images of some of those exposed roots that belong to that LA of trees to the west, and these have informed our proposed design. This is the entrance to the dog run. This message board is gone. It was damaged and removed. We'll install a new message board. We'll also return your shed, which you use to store community supplies. This is an image of that LA of trees along the west. Tree number 7 is that tree with a large root in the center of the run. A few of you mentioned that a local gardening group plants and maintains this strip under the LA of trees. And this group most likely installed a 4-foot wire mesh fence along the pathway to protect their plantings. Photo 1 is of that grove of trees to the north of the dog run. Image 2 is the circle along the pathway intersection to the north. We'll be repairing the sidewalk adjacent to the run. The repair is separate from the funding of the dog run, but will help improve the entire southeast end of the park. Our schematic plan addresses both site constraints and the needs of the community. The surfaces will be mostly canine turf. Concrete entrances will accommodate accessibility. Once again, we're modifying the extent of the run based on the exposed routes. To the north of the pathway circle, as mentioned, we're proposing a small dog run with a separate entrance. The dog run design and placement on the entrances along the pathway circle responds to the general park geometry. There are several of these circles at major pathway intersections throughout the park. And we feel the paired entrances along the circular pathway creates a common community of both runs. And each run will have a bottle filler with dog bowls and an integrated hose bib for cleanup. Each run will have an additional light, and the all dog run will get a storage box for community dog run materials. And we'll also be adding 2 new street trees in the sidewalk right next to the small dog run. So that'll help beautify it. The existing fencing around the dog run includes 4-foot chain link fence along the north, south, and west. Along the eastern side of the run, there's a 6-foot steel picket fence with wire that's been attached to the bottom to secure the dog run for small dogs. In the south, there's a service gate, and in the northwest, there's a maintenance gate and a 2-gate entry. Our design will feature a 2-foot 6-inch pipe rail fence to protect a planted buffer zone between the dog run and the path. This buffer will provide a visual barrier for the dogs inside the run. The southern, western, and northern extents will be 4-foot chain link fence. We'll replace a portion of the dog run fence along the east. That's a 6-foot steel picket fence that shares the eastern extent of the dog run with the Thomas Jefferson Park. Each run will have an entry vestibule with 2 gates, and each dog run will have a double gate maintenance entrance. We're proposing canine turf as the surface for the dog run, along with concrete near the entrances. You'll also get a job box to store your community supplies, a message board, a combination bottle filler dog bowl with integrated hose bib, and a doggy waste bag dispenser. The site furnishings will be standard for the dog run. The new bench we've chosen, it doesn't have a gap between the 2 front slats like the old bench did. And that will prevent dogs from getting their paws caught in that gap. The plant palette will consist of shade tolerant plants that are hardy and safe for dogs. The existing permeability of the dog run is 100% currently, as it's just wood chips and planted area. With the addition of concrete, canine turf, and a planted area, the new proposed permeability will be 18%. Thanks for your time, and I'll open the floor to discussion.
Any questions from community?
Yeah. Hi. So I have a question. So I visited Thomas Jefferson Park several times. The dog run is really small. What I have noticed, and I personally seen this, the field that is northeast of the dog run, why wasn't that considered to be a replacement for it, right? The field is already, it's not really used. A lot of people already bring their dogs in there anyway. Unofficially, I'm not telling on anyone. By the way,
Everyone does this. We know, yeah.
Yeah. So, but also, some of the dogs that do go there, they are big dogs, and that space is still kind of small just for a big dog. So, just wondering why wasn't considered to make it bigger, or just switch to that field.
Yeah, it's a codified ball field. That's its purpose.
Not that other field.
I'm sure.
This is
Yeah.
This is Trish. Jeff and I have been working together on this, and the program aspects of the park are fixed. At our introduction to the site, we are reconstructing the ball field, and to reprogram a ball field to a different use is changes the use for that sport also. So we are here reconstructing the dog run for this purpose to provide the best dog run we can, as we met with the community at the input meeting to place the durable materials, provide separate dog runs, and this is how we can provide that. To change the programmatic use of the ball fields is another process, another step, another length of time, and it worked out at not within this reconstruction.
I mean, I think we're so much because you have the ball fields that's direction north to it, which is 2 ball fields, which I agree needs to be rehab. But there's another field that isn't a ball field.
It is.
It is. Is that
behind the pools, right behind Jefferson Park. And yeah, I can kind of agree with him. People do use that field. So to cut the dog park already, if there's something smaller for the big dogs, I can probably assure you people are still going to use that field unofficially.
And it happens throughout the city. I see it all the time.
Can I just
And-
add something? I also work with Trish and Jeff, that I just worked on a new needs estimate for that field. So that field will be reconstructed, once it's funded. But the use of people playing baseball there is still the use that they want to keep in the future. So that's the budget that was allotted for this dog run can only pay for this. The synthetic turf is much larger, and we'd have to take the time to seek additional funding and get approval. So it's not within the scope of this project. But people, like Jeff was saying, in the off hours that dogs do run in larger spaces. But what's nice about this dog runner, dogs are protected. There's dog materials, water. So it's sort of a place for the community to come together in sort of the park standards we use for dog runs.
We have a comment by our chair.
Yeah, I'm not saying how to use that park, but that park is not in use. It's locked. It has not been maintained. There's needles. There is a lot of feces from dogs that people let in. But if you're under the impression, and I think you said that park is being used, I'd advise that maybe you come again and actually see the parks you're talking about, so you could be aware of actually what is going on here. And I will echo that I personally have brought my dog there, and that is a very tiny dog run, especially as you get to the end. So when people throw balls and stuff in that corner, dogs collide into each other, they start fights, and there is a large amount of people in this community who own dogs. There's a lot of dog ownership here, and I thought the biggest problem was the size of this dog. So I don't think the biggest issue is actually being addressed with this. So, and then, like I said, it might be useful to come back and actually see what's going on there before you decide these things.
We have a question. Sorry, guys. We have a question or comment maybe by Andrew.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, one, your point is exactly right, that the main concern people have besides the cleanliness with the mulch is that the existing space is too small. I know in our previous meetings, I mentioned that this plan, really anything to reduce the current size of what would be the large dog run, people are not gonna take that kindly. The reason they use the baseball field or other parts of the park is because they already view the existing space as too small. So especially when I look at it from my lens as a volunteer, trying to draw people into the dog run, which is the goal we all have, making it smaller is only gonna make that much harder, even if you do section off separate space for the small dogs. I initially raised my hand because I wasn't sure if what you were talking about, Chancellor, too, was maybe the grove that's north of the small dog run, not the actual baseball field. That's another area that people have commonly asked me why that wasn't considered. The grove that is north of what you're planning to be the small dog area, that is not really used for anything besides.
They could have extended it.
Yeah, correct. So if that was considered, or if not, why?
Yeah, so that was I was also thinking about. I was mostly focused on that. I guess small part.
Yeah.
But that grove That grove, yes, that grove can still be used. There's like no benches on that grove as well. So even just consider just making it longer. That way, instead of using the grove until that was it the basketball court that's on.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few considerations, you know, we have to work with our arborists, and for each tree we take out, we have to pay restitution. And we're at our limit. We took 4 trees out. They can be expensive. We have to replant trees. We have to pay for those. And we're at the top of our budget. And all I can say is I feel your frustration. I've been examining this for months and trying to look for space for you guys. And you're getting a dog run about the same size. You're getting separate dog runs, really low maintenance materials. It's going to look beautiful. But this is what we can do with what money we have right now.
So Jeffrey, may I ask how many dogs can you fit in the small one, and how many dogs can you fit in the quote unquote large one?
Can I also add to that question? What is considered a large and a small dog?
The definition of large and small is dog size. So it's, you know, an all dog run and a small dog run for small dogs. So yeah, we have an all dogs run and a small dogs run, and that's the definition of, you know, all in small. And we did, you know, from the space that was available, we have the you know, comparable sites, and it's
Have like a
we look around the city.
measurement, inches,
But we. Yeah, like 15 pounds and under small dog.
it can be 5 inches with like 20 pounds. I'm like, that's okay. The chair, one recollection, the chair.
Could funding still be, additional funding be raised? Because I know, and this is to the committee, historically borough presidents have donated to dog runs in different communities in their borough. So I'd encourage you guys, if this is important, and I think it is, to request from our borough president additional capital explaining why it's needed. So I mean, that just might be a worthwhile consideration.
Yeah, we've already sought and received some additional funding.
From who?
From a Hudson Borough president? I didn't see that.
No. So, hey guys, this is Max again. So this project is in design now, right? If we were to seek more funding for this project from an elected official, the funding rounds are over for this year. So that means that we can't get more funding from an elected official until at least next year. But that would delay the project by more than a year if that was to happen. Right now, this project is delivering a state-of-the-art dog run from what the group, I mean, from what I assume, is a lot of maintenance responsibility just for the group to clean this on a daily basis too. We size our dog runs with that in mind. We purposely don't make our dog runs too large because it's a humongous responsibility to clean that. And parks cannot be responsible for that, and our volunteers are. So this is actually in line with other sizes of dog runs around the city. Our largest dog runs in Fort Tryon Park, Sir Williams Run, if you guys have ever been there. I am more than happy to take you guys there. And that's our largest dog run in the city, which is much smaller than that field. Plus that field, like Rachel was saying, we are trying to seek funding to actually turn that into a more proper sports field with better drainage and a better material. Because of the lack of sports play that we have in this neighborhood, especially, there's tons of demand for youth sports. And we need to accommodate that. We just don't have the option to turn that youth sports field into a dog run. If it makes you guys happy, I could always visit the site with you guys and explain this in detail on site, maybe next week, if you guys are amenable to that. But we have this project, that'd be great. But we have this project happening right now. You guys have the opportunity to get a brand new dog run in this site delivered within the next 2 years. If we delay this by a year, it's going to get pushed back in the queue, and we can't get the funding in place until maybe August or September of next year. Not even April, because we got to solicit the funding and everything else. That's just not a practical position to take with this. I totally get your concerns about it not being as large as you may want, but I would love to walk the site with you guys. I just explained the competing uses in Thomas Jefferson Park. I'm very familiar with the site. I go there all the time. So does Matt, so does Jonathan. But I would love to visit the site with you guys and make you more comfortable with this. But really, this is a state-of-the-art product you guys are getting. I mean, this is the creme de la creme, this doggy turf.
Right, we're definitely going to consider that. I personally like volunteer to go with you guys. I know for a fact, to echo what Chancellor said, dogs are literally pooping on the outside where they play sports already. Oh, we have our city council here with us, Elsie and Carlos. You can play that. 1 second, I'm sorry.
I like Elsie too.
You know, that happens too at the biggest, nicest dog run anywhere. There's always going to be dogs that maybe they're not friendly to other dogs, or the owners don't like to have them in the pens. So any park you go to, they're all over the place. You know, you guys are just doing best practices. So.
Yes, thank you, Jeffrey. I just recognize our council member.
The honor. Yeah.
The honorable.
Okay, all right, guys. I was just a community board member 5 minutes ago. Okay, so so first and foremost, thank you for the presentation. This is my first time seeing it. I was, as many of you know, working with Diana when she allocated the money for this, because the advocates and the volunteers stopped her and asked her and essentially told them they needed an upgrade there, and she was able to put some funding. I've seen the numbers for bigger dog parks. The city council has some money and the borough president has some money, but it's big money they're talking about. And and it takes quite a long time to gather a lot of this money. Even the 1.3 million that she put in would have actually taken a few years to get from a city council budget. As you know, our capital funds is about $5 million a year, and we have to split that across the whole budget with all of the capital projects. And so sh- being the deputy speaker, she was able to put that in. I wanted to hear from people though about the design. And listen, I hear you. I think we need another dog park in the community. I think this shouldn't be the only dog park in the community. And I think that if there is additional funding, it should go to another site so that we can kind of have access throughout the district, and not people, because people are not walking all the way. Like, some people that live in that area go there, but I've heard from all over East Harlem that they want dog parks in other parts of the community. So, I can't commit to definitely putting one somewhere, but I think that that's definitely worth a look at, to see where else we can kind of fund another dog park to help alleviate some of the congestion that we're seeing. And the community board is right. Like, they are using those fields for dog runs. There's poop all over the place. So I also want to talk about maybe some mitigation in that way, where we can get help picking up some of this stuff and keeping those fields as clean as possible so our kids can have access to it and play with it. And while we are securing the funding for the renovations, because I also saw those numbers and it's quite big. So I just wanted to put that there, and I wanted to get an idea of what do you guys think about the actual proposal, and not miss out on the opportunity to say like those benches are ugly and we want new benches. But to really like have comment on the turf versus chips, benches versus whatever. So yeah, but that was just my 2 cents in it. You guys can bomb me now.
Have a question, Dr. Russell?
I have a question for Matt, and then a statement or just a gesture first. We're having a conversation about dogs and where they do their business, as though they're coming outside and going where they want to go. We gotta have some type of enforcement on how the pet owners are allowing their animals to do what they want to do because they're convenient to the person. I live in a community where, in my part of the north of 125th Street, it seems like it's dog row. There's no dog park, no dog walk. And for Max, is it a situation where this project is so far down the line that interrupting it may actually lose it more so than, like Elsie said, have it done somewhere else?
You Russell, you really God, I love talking to you, Russell. You just make so much sense. Yes, there is, because this takes a human capital as well to assign designers to these projects. And right now, you have a designer, you have a whole team behind this project working on it. If we delay that, it delays the whole design process, it delays the procurement process, and it delays construction. You guys have an opportunity here to get a dog within 2 years. And just like the council member was saying, we can look at other potential sites around this area to find more space and more capacity for dog runs. But yes, if we take this out of the design process now, it could get really, really delayed and pushed back further in the queue with other projects slotting into it. But Russell, along the lines of enforcement, I will talk to PEP literally tonight about potentially doing a detail here to issue summonses and fines to people that violate our rules, because this is a sanitary and health concern of ours, especially when they're on youth playing fields. We have had so many countless incidents of youth sports teams, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds stepping in feces. So yes, I will talk to our PEP team directly after this, Russell.
Yeah. And actually, just this morning, I saw parks cops kicking out people from my ball field with their dogs. So.
Yep, exactly. We do these details quite often, and they are successful. We might do like a blitz, right? We might have someone stationed there at 7 a.m. and do it every day for like 5 days to get people in the habit of not going there and bringing their dogs there.
I will talk about the design this time. I guess I didn't hear this. When construction starts, how long will not be access to the dog run?
Construction is. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's fine.
Yeah, the construction timeline is typically a year.
There'll be a year without the dog.
Who's speaking right now? What's your name?
Chancellor.
Chancellor Max. Chancellor, can we keep in contact, because there have been sites in the past where we do a potential temporary run, but this is not common at all. Normally when we do a playground reconstruction, right, we close the playground down and we don't have another site for the kids to play. So that's just normally how we construct things. But if this becomes a major sanitary issue where dogs are going to the field and doing their business instead of the dog park, we should definitely look at other options. But just like we do playground reconstructions, we don't provide a temporary playground during construction.
Okay, and then the second question on the design. The suggestion is to switch to turf, right, for mulch. So how's the maintenance of the turf is going to be handled? I know you said parks doesn't do the cleaning of it. It'll be on the volunteers, right? But this is turf we're talking about, right? So it's not as easy as usual. So that, and then the turf that we guys will be using, is it dog friendly? So I don't think I heard that turf was particularly dog friendly, because different turf hurts dogs.
Jeff, your answer?
Yeah, this is porous. It's soft. You're getting we're providing you with hoses, hose bibs for cleanup. And the dog poop washes right through.
And we're buying this special product that it's not the normal product in our normal turf fields. Like that's a completely different product. This product has an antimicrobial coating on it to actually prevent bacteria growth and smells. So this should smell a hell of a lot better than the mulch for sure. But also rainwater washes it off naturally. Plus the volunteers could also use hoses and whatnot. And it's plastic, so it could just wash off, douse it off, and it's done.
What about during the winter? Cold.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They'll be fine during the winter.
Yeah, this has been temperature rated for this climate specifically. So when it freezes, it thaws, it won't crack, it won't break, it won't lose its color. And the estimated useful life, which is how we measure how long things last in parks, for this product is up to 15 years. So you guys could get more than a decade of use out of this product. And if for some reason it does break, they're relatively easy to repair. And I use that word very lightly, but it's relatively easy to fix when it does break. It's just that this product is so much better than mulch. It's so much better than gravel. And the old decomposed granite we used to use, that really fine stone dust, that trapped odors like nothing else. And it got compacted and it got really hard. This product does not trap odors whatsoever. You could talk to the Carl Schurz people. They just replaced their dog run from decomposed granite to artificial turf, and it looks spectacular. Yeah.
What's the brand of the turf? I just want to do research on
Oh,
it.
sure. Yeah. You could look up something called Canine Turf. You should be able to find it. The exact spec is up to our contractor to buy. So it might be a different manufacturer because they might get an approved equal. But look up Canine Turf. And that's the kind of product we use. It's specifically designed for dogs' paws. So the infill material doesn't hurt them either.
So you said it is up to the contractor to purchase it, but is there like a list from what
Yes.
it purchase from?
In our spec, we have basically approved manufacturers. And if that contractor ever wants to go outside of that, it's a huge lengthy review process that Jeffrey looks at, that Patricia looks at, that Rachel looks at, and make sure it meets our very like our specs to actually make this product happen. If it doesn't meet our specs, we don't approve it at all.
So I know that one of the schools have artificial grass, that I call it, and it is horrible. It has like little pebbles that get stuck on your feet, and it hurts the kids when they're walking. Would that?
This doesn't have infill. This does not have infill. It's just a mat. It's a porous mat with the fibers coming out of it, and there's a lot of holes in the mat. So there's nothing loose.
Yeah, the stuff you're talking about has either sand particles or coated sand with like a plastic material on top of the sand. That's actually weighted down to hold the turf on top of the profile. That I don't know what you're talking about with what school, but we specifically designed it so it's not angular, so it won't hurt them when we do have that infill material.
Okay, Samantha.
I have a question for Jeffrey. Can you explain why we would have to remove the trees to expand into the grove? So the small dog area, I'm curious about that. And just kind of writ large, I want to make sure that we're not rushing into anything just because it's a brand new thing. Like, wouldn't this money be earmarked anyway? So I'm concerned in that it feels like we're trying to be forced to decide something tonight when it doesn't meet the needs of the folks who are in this area. Like, I was thinking about Andrew, who it seems like is the chief volunteer, perhaps. I don't want to replace. A, make it smaller. B, make it perhaps less accommodating to the dogs themselves, and then kind of yes, it's great that it's a souped up new version, but like it seems like we're kind of not necessarily being responsive to the needs that were expressed. So I'm struggling here, I think, a little bit.
All right. Yeah, I mean, some of the major needs from, the community input meeting were separate dog runs, small and all, or all dogs and, maybe some dogs with special needs. So we were trying to fulfill that need. And as you can see from around the site, there are a lot of places we just can't expand the dog park. This was the only area where we could. So we really had to work with
Get rid of the trees that are like on the right side of this image right here.
Yeah, I could answer that the synthetic turf material has a profile. It's let's say 7 inches deep. There's gravel and there's piping underneath it, which will help keep the area dry when it rains. And it has to be continuous, and it's attached almost like a rug. There is a plastic lumber nailer that goes along the edge, and this is stretched over the gravel continuously. So we can't have live trees within that space. So that's why we work closely with our landscape construction team. And, this was to have an adjacent dog run, this was the spot where we could do it. And the reason for the removal of the tree is because the new synthetic turf has to be continuous.
And even if it was mulch, the concentration of dog urine and poop would be fatal to the trees.
I saw that you had only one water fountain for the dogs. Is that one in each?
No, one for each. Yeah, and a hose bib and a bottle filler.
Okay, we have Agatha and then Jose.
In regards to drainage, I didn't hear anything about that, and I saw that permeability is going to be reduced from 53%, I think, to 80%. And so if you're adding the turf, I can see that being a problem in the future, being that 100 flood zone, right? So are we creating an issue here, or is that something?
No, this slide is more for the DEP. The DEP requires us to keep our space of permeability below 5,000 square feet. We will manage the water underneath the turf. Obviously, it's very porous, but no, the water will be managed. I mean, a lot better than, once again, mulch, you know.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, DEP considers synthetic turf non-porous, believe it or not. It's just because the water is captured underneath it, as you know, and the water drains as quickly as it would on pavement. So on the surface, there won't be standing water. The water will be captured and taken off site. So it will drain. It's just calculations we do for DEP.
It's also going to drain a lot better than it does right now because the soil won't be compacted. We're actually going to have a specially designed base course stone in here. And in between that stone, there's pore space where the water could actually go. So it's actually managed profile too, much better than the mulch that we had before.
Jose?
Hi, Jose. I'm the vice chair, so I have some silly questions because I'm not part of this committee. First, I was curious. I'm guessing that Max and Jeffrey have been punished in the Parks Department. One's on the staircase and the other one's underneath the staircase. So I'm not sure how that worked exactly. But I'm curious. Is this the first time that we're seeing this project? Has it come before? Because you're asked questions. Or is this the first presentation? I'm also curious if there is a timeline, if there's a letter, like if they needed something by a certain period of time, because obviously Max said we can do it. I love walkthroughs. So, and I always love it when the city comes for walkthroughs because I make them do that public safety. I'm curious about where this is in our queue.
So the reason I said to do the walkthrough is because we are really hoping you guys, and of course you guys make your decision. I'm not trying to force anything, but we needed a letter from you guys to go to PDC, the Public Design Commission. And Jeff and Rachel, what is that next meeting at?
The 22nd.
So in order to not delay this project, we're looking for a letter by the 22nd. And it doesn't necessarily have to go to, you guys can decide if it goes to full board or not. But basically, I want to do the walkthrough with you guys. If you want one, like very early next week, just so we can make everyone feel more comfortable with this plan. Because truly at Parks, we think this is a great plan, but we don't want you guys to feel uncomfortable with it either. We want you guys to have buy-in in this project. It's your park, it's our park. So if you want to do the walkthrough, I'm more than happy to meet very early next week with you guys and just talk about the site. I mean, Thomas Jefferson is basically an outdoor rec center. There is so much going on here.
To answer my first question, is this the first time you're presenting this?
Yes,
here?
it is.
Yes.
So
and Andrew has seen versions of it.
Was this shared with you in advance of the meeting?
It was not.
When did you guys have this done by? When was this presentation done?
The process that we have is we go for community input, and the next time the community sees it is at this meeting, and that's where we get your input.
No, I guess that's not the question I asked. You knew you were coming in tonight to present this. This presentation you're showing them right now, was it done a week ago?
No.
When was it done?
It was done at
this afternoon.
5:30.
Yeah.
You finished this at 5:30 today?
It's been a long process.
Well, we had to get a lot of input from the landscape construction team. We had to go for the additional funds. I mean, it's been a long time since our community input meeting. So this is the next opportunity that we would show the presentation. We're happy to give you the presentation, but this is the typical process. This is when we show it.
Right. I remember you guys coming for a walkthrough maybe with Deputy Speaker Diana Ayala maybe last year. Community Board 11 was not invited, so we didn't even know that was happening. We just heard it over the news. Environment, Open Space and Parks Committee didn't have the opportunity to, to review these slides, like I didn't even know until like today. I am available Monday. Are you available Monday?
I'm looking right now.
I'll come out with you, Andrew.
Everybody okay with Monday? I mean, I'm sorry.
What time?
Hi,
What
I'm
time
sorry.
Monday?
I'm sorry. So last year, Steve Simon did provide us with a help us plan the renovation of the dog run at Thomas Jefferson Park flyer, Thursday, June 12th, 2025. We posted that. And we made the committee members aware of that as well.
Yeah, we had like 25 people.
That meeting was to talk about options. That wasn't, we were
But
doing
we were-
options on, it wasn't a plan.
That's fair.
Just
That's
options.
fair. I just want to say that we were notified that we had an opportunity to go and provide the input. So I'm just letting you know, I don't want to, I don't want.
That's why I said with the question, because you know what I mean, they went
Yeah.
and they, it was never.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't want anyone else to say that we were not made aware of this previous to, this presentation being provided.
Right. Okay, there's a lot of hands right now. I'm gonna go to committee meetings first after the vice chair.
I'm curious, in your committee, are you doing the 30-day period of time? Is that typical standard? 'Cause-
Usually, yes.
So regardless of that, you wouldn't be giving them the approval that
No,
they
we're not.
require. So just so that they're aware of the situation,
Yeah.
which is probably the best case because you have to go through this.
Okay, again, like I'm saying, if history has taught me here, when things out there, some unusual ways where funding becomes available, special projects become available, things that we don't even request but we need. If we miss an opportunity and go through a longer procedure, it might go into oblivion because of
Isn't
other
this a bit
things.
earmarked
other
though for
things.
this park?
Right.
Why would we use this money if we have input in the design?
Okay, one mic.
Well, I'm saying, I'm just saying, we discussed, and I could hear where we might be going. On technicality, and rightfully so. And I'm saying, I've been here long enough because we've been rightfully so. And if we go into those archives, we'll find out how many things we missed because we wanted to be that technical. So I'm saying, this is one of those projects, perhaps, that the city itself saw an opportunity to provide our community with something that we needed, that we may not have been requesting. Doing the best of their ability to do something for us in space that they have to find a space to do. It's not adequate, but again, we have an over influx of people who decided they want to own pets without being responsible. So this is that's our biggest park in our community.
But I think we can
One second, one mic.
I'm talking about correcting, I'm just saying for us to understand what we might be asking for. I'm saying rightfully so, we should have input. We had an opportunity before, whether we paid attention to it, whether we don't know what the other environment would have been where it was an oversight, overlook, we didn't participate. We're here now for something that's right here. So we can delay it for the technicality. It's not gonna get any bigger. It's not gonna get any bigger.
Why is that?
Okay, because it'll take longer because we have to find more
But shouldn't
money.
it be automatic?
You have to direct questions and comments to me.
So it would take more money, and Max already said what it would take for more money, even if the Congress, she said what the process is already passed us, so it'll take another year just to get the money.
Right, and that will be okay. That will be okay, in all honesty. I understand everyone's concern. 1 second, please. We have community members here that need to be heard too. Chancellor and Samantha.
My question is more a continuation of those two, right? So you guys stated that the PVC or PVMC meeting is on May 22nd. When's the next meeting after that? Is that like months later? Or is these meetings monthly? And so could you all get on the agenda for the June meeting instead? So it can give us time to, go through our processing. Because I understand, I agree with Russell there, we have something here. While in my opinion, it is small and we deserve to be bigger, especially for our residents in this neighborhood. We want to make sure they are heard. and everything, but we also don't want to miss out on opportunity. But at the exact same time, though, understand May 22nd, just two weeks away, 3 weeks away. I don't even think full board is before that anyway. So, but yeah,
It's the 19th.
it's the 19th. So, but could you all get on the June agenda for this?
Yeah, Chair, sorry, that's fair. You guys should have a healthy discussion about this. And we're not trying to steamroll anything, and I apologize for coming off like that. We can meet Monday if you guys are free at 5 p.m. I'm inviting anyone that wants to join me at 5 p.m. if that works for you guys. But anything that we could do at Parks to make you guys feel comfortable with this plan, this is publicly bonded money that was given to us by the council member. We want to make sure you guys are comfortable with this plan too. So that sounds fair, Chancellor.
Wait 1 second, I want to make sure that the members are okay with 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Monday.
Yeah.
I can make that. I think with human services starts at 6:30.
Yeah. Maybe 4:30 or 4? 4 p.m. Are you able to do 4 p.m.? Because we have different committee meetings.
Let me check. For you guys, sure. I can do 4 p.m. Fine, done.
4 p.m. Monday. Okay. I believe Kiara, you had the.
I think Andrew did too.
I think this.
Yes. 1 second. You have a question?
No, I just had to know. I think Agatha made an excellent point about permeability, and I would like to know. I wonder if the same type of gravel that's at Carl Schurz Park on the Upper East Side could also be used for this project. One, because the maintenance, you guys have made a point about the turf having to be refurbished every 10 to 15 years. 15 years, it actually needs to be trashed and then like redone. So with that being said, Thomas Jefferson Park already isn't really, like, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, it isn't superbly well maintained. So it would make more sense to have an option that doesn't force us to rely on external, like, you know what I'm saying, constant refurbishment. Because then consider like dogs digging in the turf, et cetera, et cetera. And then also when it gets hot, that's right on the edge next to the water, that turf is gonna get super hot too.
Can I just quickly, I'm sorry, I missed your name, but this is Max again. So this is actually the least maintenance intensive product we can use in a dog run. Even the decomposed granite, which they did have Carl Schurz, which they replaced with synthetic turf sits. The decomposed granite requires maintenance once or twice a year from the group to actually turn it over and make sure it drains correctly, because otherwise it gets really compacted. This turf requires none of that. You basically leave it alone for 10 to 15 years and it does its job. Decomposed granite need yearly or bi-yearly maintenance. Mulch requires maintenance all the time to truck it back in and replace it because it smells horrible and it disintegrates. And then the other product we did use in the past is something called pea gravel. That's at the Museum of Natural History at the dog run over there. It's hated by the community, which we're never using again. And then the other material we can use is asphalt. But asphalt also gets hotter than turf, and it gets pretty hard on the dogs, even though it's somewhat comfortable. You need to color seal it to make it more comfortable for the dogs. So really the best product is the synthetic turf. Unless if you wanted to do asphalt, but that's not permeable at all. Turf is, even though DEP said it's not, it is. Water could actually infiltrate down into it and go down and not sheet flow off.
Okay, we have Andrew.
Yeah, I was gonna actually just chime in more specifically because it ties into all of the communication issues we're talking about. The feedback meeting last June, yes, it was maybe given to the board ahead of time notice. I was given notice by Steve Simon about 3 days before the event. I presume that's when you guys were given notice. I had 3 days to scramble to rally the community to show up at a meeting at the run. So the feedback session there was frankly because we as a community organized ourselves to show up and do it. Parks did not do that. The same exact thing happened with this meeting tonight. I was told by Steve Simon last Friday night that this was happening. Had about a weekend to do it and get people together. We've got, I'm sure, plenty of people on the line from what I've talked about with people the past couple of days. More and more people I know wanted to attend, but could not plan for it. I've asked you guys basically every 2 weeks for about 8 months when you were going to be presenting this for the community board. And every month you tell me it's going to be next month and next month and next month. So respectfully, I appreciate the constraints you're under and everything, but the communication on this has been really poor. And it leaves me and everyone else that I talk to in the community really concerned. that this is not gonna be implemented properly. Certainly feels to me a bit right now like we're being rushed into a decision that people clearly are pretty passionate in a bunch of different ways about. So again, no disrespect to the work that you've done and the time you put in. But it is a real concern, and I would want to be very blunt about the constraints we've been under as a community. That this has been led by us and basically only us.
Thank
That's
you.
gonna be a challenge.
Thank you so much. I am going to do like a little flyer and announce it to everyone. So if anybody else wants to join us in the walkthrough, definitely are more than welcome to join too. We're also gonna send in the newsletter. Hopefully someone reads it. But Mia, you have a question?
More of a suggestion because making the larger door run smaller is a problem since you're already dealing with constraints. Can you eliminate the garden altogether and just keep it one full, space? The only reason why there is a garden is because prior to Andrew taking over the run, there was myself and two other women who organized and we created that space. It was extended by the parks. The parks, yeah, someone from parks, she pushed it back so that we have more space in the width, and she kept that garden space. But it's really just random planting that's going on.
Oh, you see, you provided us more space and ideas. Absolutely. Okay, we'll take a look at. What's it?
My name is Charlotte.
Okay, we have another question, Sean.
Well, it's not necessarily a question. I'm daily at the park with my dog. I have a bit of a problematic dog. I can just say that out loud. So
That's okay. That's all right.
the dog field is not always an option for me. But with that being said, I was at that June meeting, and what was spoken about was the types of material used for the ground to change. And we did decide on turf. We also decided to add a water line. We made it very clear that it cannot get smaller. Reason being, this is a growing neighborhood. That building on 110th Street alone on Third Avenue, how many dogs do you think is gonna end up in that building alone? So we can take one step forward tonight, but I think it's really taking two steps back, to be real.
Thank you for your comment. I'm gonna move it along because it's literally 8:30. We're gonna meet you on Monday, 4 p.m. at Thomas Jefferson Dog Park, so we can actually.
Great.
Can we do 5? Is 5 possible? I propose it from the. Is 5 possible? Because people are getting off work at 4, and it will make it happen. But I know it's contingent on Max and his schedule as well. It's 5 p.m. peaceful.
He did say 5. 5 p.m. then.
I'll make anything work for you guys, whatever you want.
Okay,
Move
so
stuff around.
that's it, no more. 5 p.m. Monday, Thomas Jefferson. Everyone is welcome. We hope to see you there, Councilmember Encarnacion, but I know you have a million other things to put it out there. Okay, we are moving on. We are not gonna do the letter of support tonight, obviously. It takes 30 days and a lot of people are gonna have a lot of questions. So we'll come back to that. We're gonna table that and we are moving on with the next item on the agenda. Thank you guys so much for answering all our questions, taking our suggestions, and we'll see you on Monday. Next item is Central Park Conservancy Part Y entry rule signage proposal. We did hear this proposal last month. Hopefully everyone, had a chance to review. I didn't have anything extra. Does anyone want to make a motion to provide a letter of support that we heard?
Yeah, I do that. I would like to motion to do a letter of support to the Central Park Conservancy park-wide entry rule signage proposal.
Anyone who like to second? I second. Roll call. Thank you.
Could I just flag real quick? We're hearing from people in the community that there were people in the chat trying to raise questions or raise their hand to be acknowledged during the dog run discussion.
Oh, I didn't see anyone on my screen,
Just wanted to make
but
sure that was noted.
okay,
If you could have them submit a more comment,
yes.
Where do they do that?
MN11, MN11 at cb.nyc.gov, and we'll include it in the record.
Can you repeat that one more time?
MN11.
Yes, MN11 cb.nyc.gov.
CB11M.
MN11 at cb.nyc.gov.
I also put it in the chat for everyone to know, and I also put my email in the chat if they wanna also CC me on it. Thank you so much. Okay, roll call. Thank you so much.
So the motion on the floor, motion is made by Chancellor Gregg to provide a letter of support for the Central Park Conservancy's conservatory park-wide entry rules signage proposal. Motion was seconded by Rosa Diaz. I'm going to call the roll right now.
Can you guys sign in the sign sheet, guys? Oh, okay.
Right now, it seems like Malika stepped out, so now you brought down quorum to 5. 3 are needed for this motion to pass. Rosa Diaz?
Yes.
Chancellor Gregg?
Yes.
Malika is Samantha Padero? This is not here. Russell Schuler?
Yes.
And Agatha White.
Abstain.
Motion passed. 4 yeses, one abstention.
Great, thank you so much, and we are, I believe Cynthia Guerra is on the line. We're discussing the community garden tours that we are going to have with Cynthia. Cynthia, do you have the logistics for May 30th? Sorry to put you in the spot.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, I did a slide, just one slide to help, like maybe with.
Yes, please. Send them.
I'll share. Do you want me to send it or just share my screen?
Share your screen for a minute. I want to take it too long.
Yeah, I'll follow up with it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Let me do that. Sorry, one moment.
Be 30 minutes.
That's the wrong one. So yeah, so this is trying to capture just what we have so far for the summer tour. Tours that we're doing 10 in total, starting May 30th. And here are the dates that we have set on the calendar, with the approximately like how long the tours will take. So they'll all start at 10, but on the days where you see the tours end at 12 p.m., that's when 3 gardens are scheduled to be visited. And then on the dates that you see them end at 12:30 p.m., that is when there are 4 gardens being scheduled. So I think 3 of the dates are on Sunday and then the rest are on Saturday. For the May 30th gardens, the cluster of gardens that are visited on May 30th. So just if you want to see the map, it starts at the very top with the northernmost garden in Community Board 11. So that's Harlem Rose Garden. So that's number 1 on the map all the way at the top. And then we're visiting 3 on May 30th. So it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We start with Harlem Rose. And then go to El Barrio Garden of Angels, and then to Jackie Robinson Community Garden. So that's on this map. It would be, I'm not sure if it's easy for y'all to see, but I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it's 2 and 3 on the map. So 1, 2, and 3. They're the closest to Marcus Garvey Park. Maybe that's one way to see it.
Definitely. You have a copy of this later on for us?
Yeah, I'll send that to you. And so this is just for today for you all to see it, but what we'll do too, I'm working with I think you've met them, Ashley Kennecke, who is my coworker, who is also has 3 gardens. It happens to be, well, 4 gardens, but it's these 3 gardens that they help support in Community Board 11. The rest I help support, and so all these 3 are actually kind of under their portfolio. But yeah, what we'll be doing before the tours, we're trying to do it like a week or 2 beforehand, is send like a package to you all. I think I did it 2 years ago, where it's like with the route, the garden contacts, kind of like what you would need on that day. But there will always be a Green Thumb staff member on that day as well, on the tours with you all.
Beautiful.
What was that?
I said beautiful.
Yeah, and so just I guess just to flag a little bit about these 3 gardens. 2 of them are active, so the ones you're starting with, Harlem Rose and El Barrio Garden of Angels, those are gardens that are open at the moment. I will just flag across the street from El Barrio Garden of Angels is Jackie Robinson Community Garden. An affordable housing development is being constructed next to the garden, so this garden unfortunately is closed for due to that construction. We're still thinking we'll have the garden group meet you all. Probably at El Barrio Garden of Angels. They know each other. It's just the space itself is closed because of that construction. And the timeline's been moving a little bit on like when it will reopen. But I mean, on these tours you'll see like everything, right? And being, impacted by construction is just like a reality of sometimes with the gardens as well. So you'll get to hear that. But all these gardens are also in Council District 9, except with one more that's left in Council District 9. The rest are in Council District 8.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? We can move on. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for the information. I'll add it to the draft flyer that I have, and then I'll send it to the member for approval. And we have new business. We have a little debrief, just a little. We have a little recognition by our amazing Senator Jose Serrano. If you guys haven't seen, yay! Oh, I don't think
the camera's right.
I know. I'm just trying to. There we go. A little proclamation for our hard work. This is for everyone to see, and I also made a copy for all of you guys. You can keep it at home. Thank you.
It looks on my refrigerator.
Exactly. And the original will stay here. Apologize. Stay here with the board, because it's Community Board 11's hard work, and obviously environment, parks. Thank you guys so much to everyone that joined, the plan that was there. I know it was a lot of planning and a lot of hiccups that we had the day before, even the day of. But thank you for everyone who made it happen. Photos, and maybe like a little website or Google site is coming soon. It's in the works. If anyone would like to volunteer, me and Chancellor are going to hopefully meet up one of these days and get that done. We have so much work. Okay, next item.
I do want to say that there are photos this is for the community board, because the public doesn't have access to this. But there are photos in the environment in the Google Drive. Already, if you already didn't see it. So that's that.
Yes. Some beautiful pictures. I know our Manhattan Borough President Rod Siegel was in attendance. Thank you so much. I know also Presidio, we love you very much. Thank you for making it happen. I know you did that. And everyone that joined, like we had so many environmental organizations that came. Thank you to PS7 and PS171. They came. The kiddos came. They were so cute. They had so much energy. Thank you so much. Randall Silent was there. Parks was there. Thank you guys so much. The department, the mayor's office, the Department of Environmental Protection was there too. I know that commissioner couldn't come, but he sent his regards. Thank you so much for Fatou for letting us know that they wasn't going to be available. But CUNY was there. I can just keep on naming all of them. I'm extremely happy for our partnership together throughout all these years.
Special thanks to the museum.
And a special thanks, this is why I love you. A special thanks to the Museum of the City of New York for hosting us, for being very accommodating to all of our beautiful needs. Yes, and thank you to like all the community that came, and also Khalid, thank you for being there. Marlene was there too. Thank you. Like everyone was there. You know, all the members. I can just keep on talking. Don't do that. Okay, and now we have new business. New business. Oh, what am I doing? Listen, yes, we've been in new business. And another new business, and maybe our council member Elsie Encarnacion is here. I don't know, she's busy, but we have a bill that was introduced to City Council Environmental Committee January 29th of 2026, and it entails, and I wrote it down because I was gonna forget. And it entails this bill tells the city's New York Department of Environmental Protection to identify the busiest, most heavy traffic streets in every borough. At least 2 intersections on each of these streets must have air quality monitors installed. Air monitors must also be placed at any park or playground located next to these busy roads. I added, including but not limited to near schools, hospitals, community gardens. And the Department of Environmental Protection must then send a report to the mayor and city council speaker showing that the air monitors were found. And I added to also the DEP must then send a report to the mayor, the city council speaker, the local community board, us, the local district school community in each of the borough, including but not limited to the borough president's council, showing that the air monitors were to be found. And lastly, if the air quality is worse than what the health standard allows, then the DEP, the New York City Department of Transportation, and the New York City Department of Education must take action to reduce people's exposure to harmful air pollution in those areas. And I added, if the air quality is worse than what the health standard allows, then the Department of Environmental Protection, the New York City Transportation, and the New York City Department of Education must take action within 30 days, not 1 year, within 30 days to reduce people's exposure to harmful air pollution in those areas. So I think with those 3 additions, if you can take these is the added ones, 3 little additions, I would totally like to support it, but
I mean, I on the basis of like supporting
air quality monitoring, why not, right? We want to be safe.
I have a question. The councilwoman is able to answer it.
Unmute.
The honorable.
The honorable City Council District A, LC Encarnacion.
Yes. The question would be, so their air monitors, will there be a website where citizens be able to view the monitors as well? Has that been brought to the city council of adding that in there so people can actually see the data?
That's a great point. I'm not sure. I think all of the air monitors are currently connected to a website through DEP. So I don't see why this would not fall under that. So it would be, but the reporting would allow us to understand if mitigation has to happen. Probably will, because I mean it just makes sense. Like I think and I didn't write this bill. I'm not going to take credit for writing this bill or for, introducing it. I signed on because it's a good piece of legislation. I really do think that, in order to get anybody to move these days, you really have to present them with data. And so this is like a way for us to collect that data to then push the agenda of getting the mitigation around those areas, be it tree canopies, be it, I don't know, whatever it is that they come up with, to start to mitigate some of that. Because I mean, we have all of these bridges in our district. We have the highest rates of asthma. So obviously, we keep saying that and we keep telling people that, but the only time we've been able to prove it is when we have these air monitors in the air. So I'm hoping that, it gets passed. I think I think they already had 17 people signed on or something like that. Like a lot of the council have been signing on. Of course, after the bill gets passed, fingers crossed, after it gets heard and it gets passed, then the advocacy will then, hey, I can see myself through the owl. Hi. After the bill gets passed, um, the advocacy will be because this doesn't necessarily say it's going to be in this district or what district it's going to fall in. DEP will then um make that determination. So I would say if you are going to support this legislation, that's great. And then additionally, once it gets passed, to circle back with a letter of support to DEP saying, requesting that this be one of the sites that we put the air monitors in.
That's exactly why we're doing this, because we want to be the first one in getting this done.
No, it's a great, listen, I love the fact that the community board is, you guys did a letter with the mixed status families for NYCHA. Doing this and supporting legislation is exactly what should be done. It helps us at City Hall to say our community boards are behind this legislation. It also helps some of the agencies understand that, people are going to be holding them accountable to the legislation that's been put out there. So it's great.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not gonna take the credit, but Adam was the one that pointed it out to me.
The honorable chair, Adam.
Did DEP give you guys their definition, since this is really on them, their definition of what heavy use means? Because
Yeah, the longer text of the bill has kind of like a definition section, which has definitions for the high traffic, definitions for like all of the terminology that's used in there. It kind of outlines what it's exactly referring to in the definitions page. And listen, if there are things that you feel should be in there, I would say reach out to the prime sponsor of the bill. She could negotiate that with the admin prior to it passing. So there's always time and room to like add things in, but there's a longer text of the bill. Usually there's a summary, then there's the definitions and all that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for sticking up with us. Oh my goodness, thank you.
Listen, I'm here. I cooked the whole lasagna while you guys were talking. I did a lot, but I'm here.
Bring my leftovers on Monday.
Listen, there was no leftovers. That lasagna was baked, cooked, ate already throughout this whole meeting.
Make it on Monday at 5 p.m. to Thomas Jefferson. Not that we're saying that you should, but you could. Anyways, you're more than welcome, obviously, because we want to continue our partnership together. And thank you for everything that you're already doing.
No, listen, we're just getting started. We got to do it together. There's no other way.
Any motion to support with the amendments, with the addition, not amendment, additions of including that language push from the please. Anybody else would like to do a motion? Rosa, who second it?
For a letter of support?
Yes, for like,
Sure.
letter of support with, to the bill of.
Okay, I would like to motion to introduce a letter of support for the air quality monitoring at heavy use thoroughfares.
Sponsored by our city
Yes.
council member.
The Honorable Encarnacion, yes.
Okay, yes, yes. Great one, something other than, and roll call, please. Thank you. Honorable Sheriff.
Okay, regarding the motion, we just need excuse me. How many here? We have 5, yeah, so 5, thank you, yeah, so we need 3 in order to pass. Rosa Diaz?
Yes.
Chancellor Gregg?
Yes.
Ready. Samantha Cordero,
Yes.
Russell Schuler,
Yes.
Agatha White,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. And with that, thank you so much to our chair for bringing that to our attention. And roll call.
No. Okay, Rosa Diaz,
Present.
Chancellor Gray, present. Early departure, Samantha Cordero. This is absent, Russell Schuler, Agatha White.
Thank you. Have a good night. Meeting is adjourned at 8:49.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you. See you Monday, hopefully.
So what was the final time for that?
Five.
Martin, we're all present, so we still recording.
Yeah. 1 second. Maybe we can mute.
Oh, 1 second, sorry.
Yeah, 1 second.